Hello there. Today I had a session with a few people about hard conversations. And I've been talking about hard conversations in our videos in the recent past, and I went through the 5 steps of having the hard conversation with people. Awareness, acceptance, how to start them, how to carry them on through the middle, and how to end them. And when I shared them, these steps, and solicited feedback from them, I was not surprised, but I was curious to see what they got from it. So today I want to distill some of the main points of what is maybe unique or what is different about this approach of doing hard conversations. One thing that came out of those that conversation was people said they have not heard of hard conversation being a sequence of multiple hard conversations or multiple conversations. Usually we think of hard conversation as, I'm in a conflict, I gotta go in, have this 15-minute, half an hour conversation, and bam, I win or lose or whatever, like we're done. But that's not how hard conversations work. I gave an example of a hard conversation I had with my manager, which actually lasted for 4 months. I had every week I had a conversation with him, and that's how we built to a situation where we could resolve something. Another one is with my dad, which I've given an example of before, that lasted for 18 years for me. And there were sporadic conversations over time, but the goal was clear. I want to have a good relationship. I want to have this conversation. So a hard conversation is not necessarily, and not often actually, is not just a one-shot deal. It's actually multiple shots over a period of weeks, months, and sometimes years and decades. Okay, so that was one insightful thing for people. Second thing that came through for people found insightful was the role of mindfulness and pausing in a hard conversation. When we are in the middle of a difficult and uncomfortable conversation, our limbic system gets activated. Our system one, in the words of Daniel Kahneman, gets activated, and we are acting from our emotions, and we are not even aware of that. We will not agree to us not being rational at the time, but we are actually not being rational. And a pause gives you some time to settle down, to ground yourself. And not just it makes you grounded, it also gives other people an impression that you are grounded. You know what you're talking about. You actually do know what you're talking about. So it's both ways. You engage system 2 better, and the listeners also get a positive impression of you, that you're grounded, you have substance, more substance, and you're rational in a difficult situation. Pausing has two or multiple layers of granularity. You can pause for a few moments in between conversations, but you can also take a pause and carry on the conversation another day, another week. But it's important that we don't delay it indefinitely, or we agree to come back at a certain time. Otherwise, it's hard to start the conversation again. So pausing as a tool in hard conversation, that was very insightful for people. And I think I have found that myself. Pausing is, for me, to really see, it helps me to be curious about the other person when I'm pausing. It helps me to see my own reactions, which are not quite rational. I can see them when I'm pausing, but sometimes I forget to pause. And that's a practice. And we can have in hard conversation how to pause. And the third thing that people found insightful was this idea of hard conversations with yourself. Like the person who wants to, at 10 p.m. they decide they're gonna get up at 5 a.m. That person at night, and the person at 5 a.m. who snoozes without thinking about it, they're very different people. I mean, they're in the same body, but two different personalities. And how to talk between them to enable the 5 a.m. girl or guy to, succeed, to help them succeed. And one thing we talked about was how the 10 p.m. person can practice waking up, practice getting up, and so that the 5 a.m. person doesn't have to struggle with that. And one example was like you get in the bed, you set the alarm, and you actually get up, set the alarm for like 2 minutes into the future. You pretend as if you're lying and sleeping, and you get up and you don't snooze, you get up, you whatever, the first 1 or 2 minutes you script that and do it. And once you do it enough times, you actually get used to that. Kind of similar to what Paulo's dog example is. The stimulus and response get conditioned together, and this is how one part of us can talk to the other part of us and help them succeed. So these were some of the few insights that came from our session today. I'm gonna host another session next week, so if you're interested, you're welcome to join. I'm gonna post that somewhere, on Facebook and LinkedIn. And thanks for listening. Thanks for helping me, and thanks for actually being considerate during my journey of exploring these hard conversations, and while I'm sharing whatever I learned in my life and professional and personal life about this. So thank you, and I look forward to speaking with you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.